Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world today. I hope you are doing absolutely fantastic. Of course, we are. I'm not going to say it after this video, but if you go have a look at my profile from the 19th of August, I said that price would stop here. From the 20th of August, I then drew up a video to my reasoning as to why I said this would be the target zone, and price followed the path that I suggested and got into the target zone. So let's move forward into the next forecast. Before I do, I suppose I should speak about the target zone and how price came out and then pulled down. So this area, so obviously it went bang center into the target zone, right? This consolidation happened because of the date. All right, so this is Friday trade, Saturday trade, Sunday trade, and now into Monday. And as the saying goes, what comes up must go down. All right, so we're down into a new trend, which is the downtrend for a little while. So I think it should get to, spoiler alert, around about here. So let's draw that up. I want to show you a quick trick. Between these 2 points is a halfway point. So I want to call it around about there. And I explained this in a previous video, so you can check that out as well. If you go down and divide it between those 2 points, you'll see that there is a support line here. It's an invisible support line. Just remind you, support and resistance isn't horizontal. Okay, don't listen to anyone who's ever suggested that. They're just not mature enough in their trading journey to know how markets work. So just ignore that information. Okay, so the truth is that support and resistance happens in a diagonal format, and there is the support line that's kind of invisible on this scan, and got to more or less to the end of that support line and then turned down. So how it got there is by traveling very, very, I want to say in a crawl-like manner from this top over here. Okay, so we got a double top. I'm sure you guys know what that is. Let me just give it to you again. So this is a double top. I think the clue's in the name. And now we're going to anchor in at the second top, which is just slightly higher than that. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, I feel that the markets are super intelligent. So this being a higher high than this wick, even though these are bodied candles, which is something that you would prefer to work off of anyway, it goes to show how obedient the market is to the laws of energy. All right. So I'm going to take this down as an absolute win and set us up for another absolute win. So that's the new high. All right. And now we got to figure out where we're going to find the next low. Okay. Because I've done this, I've got my 10,000 hours behind me. I'm just going to freehand it over here. However, the students of MTOPS, which is basically the course I've created for guys to learn how I do what I do, will very much know how to do this with higher accuracy and a smarter level of precision. So this is just freehand for now. And typically I'm okay with freehand as the turning point begins. And after that, I tend to refine. This was pretty great out the gate. We did look at various scenarios. I'm dead certain the price is going to go down now. So I'm not going to look at both scenarios in terms of an up and a down, because this was a really good up. Now the question is, how far down will this go? Sorry, I'm just wondering if I should maybe make it a little bit bigger. So yeah, I'm just going to go back to the same side transition to where it gets its energy resonance from. Lay down the anchor points, take a look at the thresholds. I think I might go a little bit bigger this time. And then maybe see how that fits. All right, so that's a better fit. When you take the course, if you're interested in advancing your trading career, you'll learn that this is something called the kill zone that I call it a kill zone, because if you open up a trade within this environment, you could be wicked out. So if you, for example, sorry for jumping around, but I like to share as much information as I can when I see it. If you had opened up a trade in the kill zone over here, let's say, for example, you were pretty sure that that was the high and that you wanted to short the market, what would have happened to you is that, see, the price didn't exit the kill zone in a very mature, reliable way. So for that reason, it just wasn't a good trade to take. But and then, sorry, the point I'm trying to make is that you probably would have been wicked out here because we put our stop loss behind recent turning points, which means you would have had a stop loss and then watch price go to target. So super frustrating. It's much more responsible to wait for the trade to get out of the kill zone so that there's no weird surprises, and you've got a dedicated support line as it exits there. So it tells a great story. I'm not going to get into all of it now because I've shared all that information inside the paid material, but for those reasons, we've got a good formation. Now the question is, how far is it going to go? So in the beginning, I don't want to overcommit. I think for now, what I'm going to do is discount this area over here because we are finding our target zone through the areas of non-probability. So I'm just marking off where the price isn't going to go. And then from there, we'll put down where it is going to go. Okay, so for now, I'm going to call the target zone out here, but I will update that. So don't necessarily get too committed to this particular target zone for now. If you are following my advice, of course. And then we'll update this as and when. So the reason why I would update that is because I'm not entirely sure how much of a drop. When price is quite close to the turning point, it's better to wait for it to form its path. However, it's also great to make profit as it develops. So as price is coming down here, what it's suggesting is that it wants to retract into that support line. But what could happen is that it might extra cross and then decide to go down over there. So I'm just waiting on which the travel lines it decides to go. All right, speaking of going, I've got to go. My kids just got home and I want to go spend time with them. Sorry for the later than usual update this morning. I was putting up my kids' trampoline, and it's a big trampoline and it took a lot of focus. So that's the reason for the delay. I'll catch up with the guys at the end of day market follow-up. Until then, have a great one and ciao for now.